though, client, Patricia, as most people are already aware of, my dear, she had her first powerlifting competition this last weekend. And she fucking crushed it. She went 5 for 6 out of her lifts. She only did bench press and deadlift. But yeah, she did great. Yeah. The only reason she missed her third bench press is because she didn't wait for the command to rack it. Because when she locked out, the bar was doing one of these. Because it was a PR. She's never benched 95 pounds before. Right. And she's sitting there struggling and it's doing like some of this going up. And as soon as she got it to here, it was still doing one of these and she racked it. Yeah. And so 3 reds on that, but otherwise she got all lifts. It was fucking awesome.
And she's a PR anyways, even
yeah,
if it wasn't.
Exactly. Still a gym PR.
Yeah.
Gym PR still. And yeah, she's happier than a pig in shit, man. Like she's still on cloud 9, just rolling with that. Like she has a competition. We'll go head over the first exercise. But yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so she's got Pirates of the Platform that's coming up in a couple of months. And I'd asked her what she wanted to focus on though. And she would rather focus on some fat loss over the next few months instead. So for the next month and a half to 2 months, we're gonna focus on fat loss, so February and March. And then through April, we'll start transitioning into the lifts again and try to see if we can build up a little bit more strength and see how much strength she's able to retain while losing some weight. So that's kind of the goal right now. See how things kind of go. I guess this is the first time you guys have seen this new workout of mine, chest workout with some dips. You might ask me why I'm not doing weighted dips and why I'm doing the assisted dips. And main reason is because I have a hard time connecting to my chest. And so when I'm on here, I can ensure that my body's bent over the way that I need it to, and that I could really focus on trying to like have that like inward pull and squeeze, which is the function of the pec. So, you know, I get a lot of reps, but that's okay. It's nice and slow and controlled. Cole, you'll have fun editing this one because it's nice and slow and boring. Oh, it's so hard. This is true. Haha. Made it. That'll just feel all right. Whew, thank you. There are a lot of different things that people didn't really expect. Nobody expected Big Ramy to get dethroned or get 5th place. Derek Lunsford was the winner of the 212 last year. And so he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go open, and he came in 2nd. Was it Hottie? Finally fucking won. And he's been like so close for years. But when it comes to classic physique, yeah, I think like, I'm not super versed in everything, but yeah, I think it's gonna take Sebum's health going down. I think that's what it would take for him to lose. Yeah, for him to lose in Olympia, his health would have to fucking impact his prep to the point that he couldn't peak or prep properly. Oh, yeah. Like his... And one with a bicep tear, so... Yeah. Yeah. Like, and Ramon did well, although I like Sebum because he doesn't seem like he's fucking, what is it? He doesn't seem like he has that stuck-up attitude. Interesting. Okay. You know, he doesn't seem like he has that. Terrence Ruffin does not either. Like they both. Yeah, Chris has been a very humble guy. Yeah, very humble, very stand-up guys. At least with all of the content that they put out online, yeah. They're very seemingly very helpful, very kind, whatever else. Any of like, I don't know, Ramon. very well, but he just gives off that vibe that he's less humble, a little bit more of like, you know, full of himself, which is fine if you're the second best in the world. Like, you can absolutely earn that. By no stretch do I say that you don't. But it's still always good to see somebody that's humble and kind and, you know, wanting to give. And they're the ones that are on the top, because that like is what fuels the majority of like the younger crowd too, right? I'm excited to see next year. I think next year things are gonna be big and different. Nick Walker. I think Nick's gonna probably win it next year, come in second. The only thing that Nick needed to do is change his posing, because Nick went up the ladder drastically this year again. And he's just a fucking monster. Fucking monster. But changing his posing, because like his front double bicep and his front relaxed, he likes to hard flex his core, and he doesn't like push his hips back. Right. Where, you know, if you look at Derek Lunsford or Hottie, like they do the standard, like, so, you know, you look at somebody, this is how they look, but in reality, this is how their body is shaped when they're on stage posing, because like whatever's furthest away from the judges is gonna look smaller, whatever's closer is gonna look bigger. So you want your chest to be essentially over top of like your feet or your quads, hips back, chest is up, and that's gonna change how your whole body's perceived, where Nick Walker is like this with like really tight abs, and he's like not like lifting up the chest, so you kind of compact everything, you lose a lot of size there. And so I think that's probably the reason why he didn't come up in the very top. But I think next year, because I've seen some photos, he's been working and changing his posing. So he'll be doing really good next year, I feel. We'll see what happens with Big Ramy, because I believe he hurt his shoulder. I think that was the problem. He couldn't do most of the poses. That's why he fucking dropped down so much. Big year for like professional bodybuilding, obviously. Big year for me for bodybuilding. Looking at still probably doing all 3 shows, depending on how everything goes. Because again, we have the road to Excalibur, the Alberta Open in Calgary, May 20th. 2 weeks later, as long as everything goes well at Alberta Open, I'll be going to Toronto for Nationals, dip my toes in the water there. And I don't expect to win there. I expect there to be mistakes made. And I want to size myself up against the competition and see. And then 6 weeks later, go out to Vancouver for Nationals there. And really fucking try to see what I can do. But we'll see how fucking Toronto goes. If Toronto goes well, then, you know, I obviously don't have to do Vancouver, but by no means do I expect my first time to step on a national stage to place first in my category. Ooh. Although that'd be badass. It's about being humble and having humility, because I do not expect that yet. Oh, that was awful, but amazing. I enjoy hitting chest a lot. You couldn't tell by the size of my chest, but I do enjoy it a lot. Not a tit guy, not a tit guy, but a chest man. Respect the guy with a nice chest, and a big back, and a fat ass. I mean, you know.
Wait, was that recorded? Whoops.
So let's see, where are we? We are 15 and a half weeks out, end of the workout. So a lot of ranting today, a lot of random topics. I apologize, but thumbs up to you guys for sticking it out. So I'm still at 4.5 hours of cardio in a week. 10,000 steps per day. My cardio counts toward my steps. Most days I get 13 to 14,000 steps, which is fine. Masteron's increased up to 400 milligrams a week. Testosterone's still at 50. Probably gonna run this most of the way through. I have quite a few more weeks before adding in any fat burners. No trend, none of those things yet. We'll see how things kind of go. I'm ahead of the curve, which is really nice. Working on my posing, getting all that shit in. Should be good. Calgary, Toronto, Vancouver, coming up. Gonna make it myself known with it, at least mildly. So, anyways, that's it for today. Over and out. Catch you guys next week with another video. Peace. Bye.